Networking has really never been my personal strong suit, but I feel like it really is something that benefited me in 2023. It's one of the things that I put a lot of emphasis and focus on this year because I wanted to get better at it. I would see people successful in my field, and one thing that I noticed that they were doing really well that I wasn't doing was networking. I thought that getting into a business like e-commerce, where I'm at my computer most of the time, would mean that I could not have to network so much, not have to talk to so many people. I thought that with e-commerce, I could kind of sit behind my desk, be at my computer, nobody really knows who I am, and I could build my business that way. To a certain degree you can, but when I finally decided that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I really wanted to put myself out there. I started to really see just how powerful networking really can be for your business. If you've ever read the book Crushing It by Gary Vee, whether you like Gary Vee or not, he makes a really good point in that book saying that a personal brand is starting to become a very powerful asset to any business. I mean, if you just think of it, the power of having an audience has only grown exponentially year over year with the emergence of social media. As long as you have an audience, somebody that you can tell a story to, you have a built-in customer base, you have a built-in marketing machine. It really is so powerful. So that's something that I really tried to focus on this year, was kind of networking and putting myself out there. And it has opened up a ton of opportunities for me this year. Namely, the first and biggest one is Seller 360. If you know anything of the story of how I got started with Seller 360, basically, I ended up connecting with my Amazon FBA coach, Trevin Peterson. He saw some of the content that I was putting out, saw that I was gaining a little bit of traction, and then most importantly, I wasn't just talking the talk, but I was walking the walk about my business. He decided to reach out to me to partner in Seller 360. At the time, I had an agency that I was running. Trevin saw that as well and thought, why don't we just combine forces? Brought me in as a partner to Seller 360, and we have been doing nothing but changing the game for Amazon FBA sellers since. I'm so excited about the things that Seller 360 has going on this next year. I feel like we are going to absolutely blow your mind with some of the things that we're going to introduce, some of the tools and services, and I'm excited for them to start rolling out. But this video is not about Seller 360 totally. It's always gonna be about Seller 360 because I honestly believe Seller 360 is going to be the future for Amazon sellers. But in this video particularly, I want to talk about networking and specifically the Amazon FBA conference that I actually just went to back in December and kind of my experience with that, some of the things that I learned, and if given the opportunity to go to one of these, should you do the same? This all starts back in 2022 when I ended up going to Miami for an Amazon seller conference. It was very much out of my comfort zone. I had no intentions of going. Something in the back of my mind was like, I was starting to see all these successful Amazon FBA people. They were kind of networking with each other. They were bouncing ideas off of each other. They were learning from each other's failures, mistakes, and their wins. And I just thought to myself, if I really, there's some underlying thing in this business that I'm not understanding, that these people over here understand and me over here doesn't understand. I needed that knowledge over there. And there's only so much knowledge that you can get in a course. But when you can actually talk to that person in real life and network with other successful Amazon sellers, talk about the things that they're doing, it gives you more opportunities to steal like an artist, AKA take some ideas from people that are being successful and implement them in your own ways in your own business. That Miami conference really opened my eyes to what these conferences were really about, and it was just that. It wasn't so much about the presentation as it was about the one-on-one time that you could get with that presenter or with some of the other Amazon FBA sellers that were there at the conference as well. In these conversations, there's just little bits and pieces and golden nuggets of information that I just don't think you will get anywhere else. You are having top-tier sellers give you legitimate secrets to their business that they may not tell otherwise on a YouTube video or an online course. And frankly, in a conversation, somebody will be very blunt and spell it out for you what you need to be doing in your business that you're not currently doing to see success. So just last month when I heard that AMZ Champions was doing their very first Amazon seller retreat, I could not say no to that. Here are just some of the things that I learned at that retreat. They're going to change the way that I personally do business in 2024. First thing that I learned was to be the best at everything all the time. This sounds a little bit daunting, but this one thing stuck with me that I think the most out of any of them, because it's like, when you're just like listening to a presenter and then they say something and it just immediately like strikes a chord in your brain And you're like, I get that. I understand exactly what you mean by that. That was this case exactly. If you really break it down to what it's saying, it really does make sense. With your brand, for example, you really do need to try to be the absolute best at everything. Whether that means you're doing it all yourself or you're hiring it out, you need to put your absolute 100% effort into everything that you're doing. Put it into the marketing, put it into the product photography, put it into the ads, put it into the product research, put it into the product sourcing. Everything about that, you need to give 100% of your effort to if you expect to succeed in 2024 on Amazon FBA. Because the bottom line is competition is there, but you still have the opportunity to have these big wins as long as your brand or your product stands out. And you do that by doing things better than your competition. If your product photos look better, boom, you get the click. If your product videos are better, boom, you get the click. If your overall brand aesthetic looks better, boom, you get multiple more clicks. Everything about you branding your product just needs to be better than your competition. And it will surprise you how much easier it is to make sales and to grow that brand. The second thing is something I personally picked up on. Some sellers may disagree with me, but I really feel like there's two routes that you can take in Amazon FBA. First route being a product catalog, where you go and you launch dozens, if not 10, 50, 100, hundreds of products, all different kinds, all different brands, with no real main true vein of your product line or your business. It's just kind of all over the place, but you have so many brands going at once that they all kind of feed into your main business. That's one way to do it. The other way is to run maybe one or two passion brands or things that you're really passionate about, that you really want to focus on everything when it comes to branding. If you care about getting brand registered, if you care about getting the absolute top-notch product photos, videography, you want to reach out to influencers, you want to build Instagram pages, TikTok pages, an e-commerce website, a Shopify store, and really take that brand to the next level, I feel like that's another route that I've seen successful sellers take, and it does work out for them. Now, the thing is, you can do both. The important thing is the finances. Both of those can absolutely drain your finances if you don't take it slow. If you're going the catalog route, you got to make sure that these products that you're launching are profitable before you overextend yourself. If you're going the brand route, you really need to make sure that this is something you want to stick with in the long term and that it has long-term viability. Otherwise, you are setting yourself up for a long road of failure. But if you take your time and focus either one of those routes, or even possibly splitting your time between both, I feel like you can be successful. You just have to know what you're getting yourself into. As I mentioned before, one thing in particular with this retreat that I really loved was that the presenters were spending a lot of one-on-one time with students going over their business in particular. And there's nothing more valuable than sitting down with somebody who's successful in Amazon FBA, looking at the ins and outs of your business and telling you exactly step by step what you need to do in order to reach your goals for this year, in order for that product to become more profitable, or to just simply tell you if this product that you're putting all this effort into needs to be cut and it's not going to work. Give you the reasons why they think that. Bottom line is you're getting this valuable information directly from the source, directly pointed at your business. And on top of all that, this retreat is actually where I learned about one of the easiest side hustles that I've ever seen, just to kind of supplement the income headed into my business to help fund my Amazon FBA business. I spoke about it in like 2 videos ago, I think, about the Amazon Influencer Program. If you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a link to it here at the end. Please go watch it. It's got to be one of the most unbelievably easy ways to make a passive side income in 2024. You really just got to look into it. It's crazy. Again, I'll leave a link to that down below. Make sure to check out my other video talking a little bit more about it. I plan to make a few more videos on that in the future, but just trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. But like I said, that's just another one of these perks of going to these retreats, is you hear about stuff like this. It's kind of like a little bit under the radar, a little bit hush hush, kind of the things that these people want to keep a little bit to themselves until they see a little bit more success with it before they blast it out on the internet. I'm telling you, networking in 2024 would change your business if you have not done it yet. Reach out to people, join Facebook groups, join Discord groups, join a course, go to some of these events. As scary as it may be for people that are introverted like myself, I think you'll see the real benefit to it once you actually do it. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, throw a like on the video if it's helped you in any way, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.